guess we are live. We're about to see if this go ahead and kick in for everyone. I guess everybody will start at 7 on time there. We definitely have to see. Okay. Now that is promising. Okay. All right, we good on YouTube. That's a start. Let's see if I can get us going here on Facebook now. I just knew. We'll just see. Give it 1 second there. Hopefully everybody's getting on when they can get on. If you can on YouTube, chime in and just tap in, say you're here. We're going to start right at the top of the hour at 7. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate that there. There we go. Well, at least the good thing is I have YouTube working today. So we're just waiting. At least the good thing is I have YouTube working today. Give me 1 second here, we'll get started. I guess it'll start at the top of the hour there. It's going to be interactive. Just bear with me here. Maybe need to start that at 6:55 next time. Let's see. Appreciate those on YouTube who are watching. We got a couple of texts. Thank you. Appreciate those on YouTube who are watching. We got a couple of texts. Thank you. Let's see. Did the Facebook link shine in? Okay. Well, hey, I see a little guest said hello. That is a good thing. Well, that's my baby girl right there. So she counts though, big time. She stands for about 20 or 30 guests. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Hmm. We'll fix that real fast on Facebook. Give me a second. Okay, there's another live. It says I'm here on Facebook, so give me 1 second, y'all. All right, there we go. I tell you, sometimes I get to tickle at myself getting things done. All right, we on Facebook Live. Thank you, everyone who's showing up. I appreciate that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see the streams right away, but let me go ahead and get started first. Welcome to the On Your Life podcast show. This is the host, Marquis Jones. I wanted to start off first by sharing my theme music, and we just go from there. Let me start that off. You can do it, yeah. You can do it, do it. You can do it, do it, yeah. You can do it, do it, do it, do it. You can own your whole life today. You can do it, yeah. You can do it, do it. You can do it, do it, yeah. You can do it, do it, do it. You can own your whole life today. Okay, everybody. This is Marquis Jones, as I announced earlier. I'm the host, founder, co-creator of the On Your Life podcast show. I'm going to try to pay attention to the main screen because I have the other screens back and forth, showing some things there, back and forth. So it's kind of distracting, and there's some delays on a couple. But like I said, I'm Marquis Jones. I'm the host, creator, and founder of the On Your Life podcast show. And I want to thank everyone who's invested this time. I know it's Christmas holiday, that weekend. You got Sunday night football. A lot of the division teams are playing for, division, clinching the division and all that good stuff. So, hey, any investment of time that you guys are investing with me, I greatly appreciate it. But, the topic of today's discussion is on your why. But I'm going to go get to that discussion. But first, I'm going to tell you really what the On Your Life podcast show is truly about for those who don't know me personally or having this maybe your first time listening in or viewing in live. Because, this year was formed because, the reason I started this podcast is to connect with folks across the world. I've been speaking and sharing insights. Literally, I'm 52, probably since I can talk. But realistically, my adulthood over 30 plus years. And in that, between the wisdom, listening to a lot of influencers, having a whole lot of life experiences, you know, my mission became simple. I want to connect with folks. I want to be able to share folks how to make a switch to buy back their time and own their life. And then what I mean by owning your life, bottom line is the only way you truly own your life is when you control every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every week, of every month, of every year of your life. Because when you control that, that's when you own your life. Sometimes no one else owns us. That's a kind of tricky word right there, especially being from the Black American culture. No one owns us, but we're renting our time out to them because whatever is the hourly wage, the salary wage, or what have you. Sometimes we renting our time out to others and renting our life out to others because we have the freedom to quit and go and do what we want to do. But what we're doing right there is in this On Your Life podcast show is giving those principles, sharing, what it means by that to own your life. And, I'll be doing some personal interviews right here. This is episode number 2 of many. We have interviews scheduled with influencers every day. I call them everyday extraordinary people who started off as just average and everyday, but then they go on to do extraordinary things in their lives. Other influencers in the social media field, worldly field, business leaders, celebrities, you have it. It's on the schedule. Spiritual leaders itself, and some folks I look up to that helped me and supported me in getting to this point. Because it was a long and hard road for me. A lot of self-inflicted things such as procrastination, doubts, worries, fears. What do I measure up? All of those good things, those type of things like that hindered me until I really realized, I had to sit down and say, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing and why? What is my why? And when you grasp, that's the topic. What is my why? When you grasp that concept of being, what is your why? Okay, when you're doing these things here, it helps you to go ahead and push yourself. Okay, and say, you know what, I have to keep going. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep falling back and forth. Even me, one of my special guests right here means a lot to me is my baby girl, my youngest biological daughter, Stacia Adria Jones. I know she hates me using her middle name, but okay, oh well. She's watched me all of her life do some extraordinary things, always getting picked up, never quitting, never doubting things. And right now, you know, I can say this much, herself and her brothers are truly, truly amazing individuals because they look at, when it says your children look at what you do more than what you say. And at least if one thing my children can take to the bank, no matter what, or a couple things, I've always been a supportive father. Whatever dreams they have, hey, I've always supported. And one, they've never seen me give up. And that right there, in and of itself, through all the turmoil, through all the trials and tribulations, ups and downs I've been through, that helps me because my why right now is my legacy. All right, my why is what do I want to leave my mark on this earth for? Not just for my children, for so many other folks out there who I come into contact with. You can I do a moment with MJ series every day, every now and again, a couple quick minutes, just a quick moment with MJ. MJ out on the stoop, and I did not realize how far that reached, how much inspiration that has been to so many others, and it's just been amazing. But I do that, and it's just me. That's what my legacy is now. Yes, you can make a living. I can make a tremendous amount of money. Folks say, MJ, you can sell ice cubes to Eskimos. You have a gift to gab for good things, So I'm always in that field. I have insurance business. I have a apparel business. I have my consulting business. I'm right now, you can see probably equipment in the back. I'm doing a lot of voiceover acting in that class right there and in the real estate field, growing into that. So I'm doing a lot of different things. So the fact of being able to make money is not ever an issue because as long as you can get up and go for it, hey, you can make some money. Hey, you can Uber drive and all that good stuff. So the fact of making money is never an issue in this country, I don't think. It's never an issue when it comes to opportunities, but what is it that you're going to do to really catapult you and just not live a life worth living, and becoming who you have to become. And that's where you look at your why. What is it? And I just want to, for a few moments of time, talk to you guys about that and just share, some of my insights. I have one of my partners, B, Brian, we've been talking for years, we've always grinded. We always do so many different things. I'm the son, very talented brother. like myself, but always, doing for others, but not so much doing for ourselves. Okay. And not so much going out. We can help everybody else grow their businesses, their dreams and talents. Sometimes we haven't done ourselves. But then why? Saying out there, if your why doesn't make you cry, you know, maybe it's not a strong enough why. Out there, that was one of my network marketing sayings. And I share that with you guys. Yeah, does your main why make you cry? When if something, whatever you're pursuing, whatever you're going for, if you quit, does your why help you keep going? Is the reason why you're doing it help you say, you know what, just one more round, no matter how much you've been beat up, how much you've been ostracized, all the negative naysayer, you might have only moved 1 inch, which it seemed like it might have moved only 1 inch when it seemed like you've been pushing and pushing and pushing so far and so long. But if your why is strong enough, instead of quitting and capitulating, you keep on going. Okay. And that right there is a definite plus. So, is that why that's strong enough to make you cry? Is that why strong enough to help you push one more time? Because, if you look at any of these influencers out here, if you look at any of those folks who have achieved any kind of massive or extraordinary success, they'll tell you it was many a days, almost every day, that ended in a why. They wanted to quit. They were trying to give a reason it was too stressful. But then they looked at their why. It could have been their children. It could have been the fact that their backs are against the wall, that it's no more, nothing left. They have nothing else to do. They have nothing else but to succeed. I know it was a scene in one of my favorite all-time movies, The Officer and the Gentleman, with Louis Gossett Jr., with Richard Gere. That was his name. It was a big thing. He did not want to quit. He did not want to quit. And in Louis Gossett Jr., the scene, he was like, hey, he was giving up on him. But Richard Gere's character, I think his name was Mayo, he said he was really hollering. He had nowhere else to go. He had nowhere else to go. And he had to succeed through that program. He was a mess up. He had all kind of obstacles and things against him, but he said even to himself, he had nowhere else to go. And so he had to keep pushing. And sometimes when it comes to our why, I'm not telling you to get into a desperate type of situation. Okay, don't put yourself in there. Don't, if you have a family to support, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there. You have a family to support. You have, bills to pay. You have people relying on you, especially if you're married. That's something you and your spouse are gonna have a deep level. I'm talking a high level, conversation when it comes to what am I going to do, because this is my dream I want to pursue. This is what I want to go do. So, you have to put that. But if your why, it means sacrificing everything for. So, you know, I want to put that out there in your think tank right there. But when it comes also to your why, sometimes if you look at what it takes, like it doesn't sometimes take desperate measures to do that, but you look at the average mother, if her child is being harmed, if her child is about to be attacked by some rabid dogs or some animals or something, or let's say it's a turnover burning car accident. You've seen stories when women, especially, have somehow lifted cars up off the ground to save their child because they had to pull everything in the sun, it was under the sun inside of them, to help succeed, to help save their baby. Women do some extraordinary things anyway, go deign their death giving birth to a child. But that's a lie right there, because they're going through extreme amount of pain to birth that child, and they can't stop it. So it's either go through this pain to finish it, and there's, the reason why, that baby, that life. Well, if you're doing something and pursuing excellence, pursuing your dreams, pursuing your passions, okay, oh my God, my baby brother's on there, pursuing your passions, pursuing your dreams, you have to do it. You have to pull everything inside of you, never to give up. As we go along with this moment of MJ, the On Your Life series, you get to know MJ a whole lot better. You'll see my story is tremendous. But guess what? One thing for certain, I don't think the name of my book is Moments with MJ. This is not a scripted reality. He did not give up. He did not quit. And that right there is just a major, major plus, for me, because, hey, I just don't quit. But that's where your why, that's all about your why. And, when you're looking at that, and I always share it again, your why, I'm gonna keep saying the word why. Why are you doing it? Why are you pursuing your dreams? Because somebody out there is pursuing, relying on you, your legacy. Um, you have no other choice, or regardless of whatever it is, but it has to be something strong enough for you to push through, to keep going, to let's not quit, whatsoever, because you're going to come to obstacles. You're going to come through things that are going to make you say, you know what, some people wouldn't blame you for quitting. Some people wouldn't blame you for going back to the old way of life, because life can, it can get hard. But that why, I can keep reiterating it, that why has to be strong enough for you not to give up, and I always share with you, some folks, when you push through that why, 'cause all it takes is one victory. When you push through that why, you keep pushing and pushing, pushing because that why motivates you. You have to do it. And there's tremendous, tremendous, victory on the other side of the fence. I was listening to Eric Thomas. Always that's one of the top motivational speakers out there. It was something he was talking about. His why was tremendous because Didi was diagnosed with MS, and he knew he had to go get it. He knew, things, whatever he had to do in his life and his speaking career, he had to go get it because he needed her to be stress free. He needed to pay these medical bills. He wanted her happy. And when I say he went to get it, listen to that story. That why was strong enough. That why was just incredible, and he pushed through it. And you can see right now he's one of the wealthiest, one of the top number one. He's held that throne for a long time, motivational speakers out there. But that is, that why. And I share with you, we all have to do a self-evaluation gut check with ourselves and then say, hey, what are we doing? What do we want to be in life, or what are we supposed to be doing? Because that why directly correlates to what you're doing. I was listening to a gentleman by the name of El Malet so many times, mentors, and prayerfully he'd be a guest on our show right here. The biggest thing, what is it that you're supposed to be doing? What is it that you're supposed to be growing into? Um, and he said something like, imagine yourself getting to heaven and you run into somebody that looks like you, that's your twin. And that person is one of two things. Either they're going to look identical to who you become, or they're going to look so far fetched because you didn't get a chance to, you didn't do what you had to do to become who you're supposed to be because you didn't, that twin, that person right there is like, wow, you didn't do these things. You gave up. You didn't keep pushing. This was the reward. This is who I am. And, I might be a little bit, I'll be remixing stories sometime. I didn't write it verbatim down. But the moral of that story is, when you push through your why, it's usually something that's pursuing, you get into a certain point of your legacy, success, etc. And in that why, there's a process of you changing who you are, who you become, growing into who you're supposed to become. And in that interim, when you get there at the heavy her pearly gates, your why, going through that why, not giving up on that reason why you're doing is what you're doing, it just makes sense. And you become that somebody totally different. You become who you're supposed to become. So that's another topic, and I remixed that in a little bit. But I really want to, want you to think back, you know, to things which pushing your why. Some folks like me, I'm not a rapper. I'm not a singer. I have a son that's in the R&B business. So I won't do that, although it's a good field to be in and get a lot of notoriety, all that good stuff. I can't do that. So I say, your why can't be something silly that you're not meant to do. But how do you know that what you're doing correlates to why you should be doing it? Well, just think back to when you were a kid, that energy that you were a kid that got you excited, that gave you butterflies in your stomach when you thought about it. Think about something in your adulthood, that in your adult life, you might hear a certain song, you might see a certain topic, you might see a movie or something like, wow, man, that gets me all excited. I know I should be doing that. Or just like plain and simple. If it's something in your life that you attempted to do, or something in your life that gets you to push you, say, I got it, something missing. I have to be doing this, or I can't not think about doing this, no matter what. That right there could be your reason why, what you should be doing to pursue to get through, the reason why. So, I say the word own your why. The topic is episode 2 of this podcast right here is own your why. Because what you have to do when you own your why, it's yours. You paying the price, you going through all kind of hell in your life, what you owning your why, nobody be able to take, think about things you own. Nobody just going to come up and just walk up to you and snatch and say, let me run that. Let me have that. They're not going to do it. When you own your why, you'll be able to keep pushing yourself through, and you'll be able to keep not, giving up on it. You own your why. That's it. And you just grow from there. So, that right there in this episode, what you need to do to own your why. And it's so many different things that as you push and as you grow, as you being resilient when it comes to owning your why, it'll definitely be, excuse me for a sec. Okay. It'll definitely help you to really, just never giving up, you know. Um, on that level. Thanks, Myron, for coming on in. My younger bonus brother right there. Appreciate you, man, for showing up, and all those who are showing up. But right there, that is your why. I've seen people's folks on this call here, some folks I went to school with. They have a reason why they keep pushing. And she went through some tremendous thing with people, just abusive type relationships and whatnot. And now she's shining bright. She doesn't know I see her on. I'm looking at the other screen, but she's shining bright doing her doggone thing. She had a reason why to keep going through all of that. Many people, when I say you don't have to have a back against the wall type moment, but some folks do. Their why is so strong, they have to. How can I say they don't have a choice but to succeed through this because they can't go back to that old life. They have to sit there and have the faith, just to keep on going. So, I'm just amazed. And I'm looking at the folks that are supporting even this here podcast. Half the folks have known me either all my life since right at birth or for quite a few years, a couple decades. No, this has been a labor of love for me. This is not my best speeches, but this right here, I knew I had to keep going. One, there was a lot of folks sponsoring me to get going. It's not all pretty. I have plenty of reasons. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan through and through. I bleed blue sometimes. And I'm not watching that at the beginning of the game, and I probably won't watch the game because I have websites to build and other stuff because I have a reason why. I have my children out there. I have a reason why. As a grown dad, I was talking to my daughter the other day. Like, wow, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm sad inside, but I'm not ashamed to say it because life, the vicissitudes of life of having it. It's been ages since I've had all four of my biological children, the Jones kids, my three boys and my baby girl together at once with me, you know. So that right there is my why to push through these things, to elevate all these platforms and to get things going. A lot of folks know I was previously married, going through that was a tremendous situation right there. No condemnation whatsoever. It's a two-way street, but hey, I have a reason why, and I have to keep going. I've got to push through all of that to keep my sanity. I have a lot of people right now who have backed me and depending on me to say, hey, Marquis, it's time for you to get it. So I have to push. That's my reason why. So I don't deal with the normal, how can I say it, things that everyone deals with because my why is so strong. I have to do it. I have a grandchild. I have to do it, and I have a lot of folks looking at me. So now it's not just me. Now everybody has seen me forever and forever and forever. I put myself out there. I can't quit. So my why is pretty dang strong. And I saw my biological late and great mother, Joanne Lane Jones. I pushed through because I saw that woman right there was one of the baddest sisters on the earth, the biggest heart that I've ever seen out there. And she pushed through. She was a survivor. She did her thing. And sometimes I look at her and what she gone through, and she raised us good. We never missed meals. We had a roof over our head, a good roof over our head. We ate well. We never knew the struggles and the strife that went through, but she was always trying. She was always trying something to really elevate her life. And yeah, I pushed through. My wife is looking at that because I know she's looking down at me. Keep on going. And that was somebody that always believed in me, because I saw she didn't get her break. So I call her always sometime and say, all right, mommy, I'm gonna get our big break for us, and that means a lot of the world to me. A lot of folks don't know that is a part of the reason why. I push myself. So hey, I'm an overachiever. I'm doing it. It's a lot, but we're gonna go over that. You'll get a chance to see a lot more of that. I wanted to just do another episode right here, and just go from there. But I did say this is interactive. I know I hit a couple of topics right there. I call myself trying to stay on course, but I like to keep it no more than 30, 35 minutes on my lives. And we're going to be doing this at least once a week. These will be streamed up top to a lot of folks on all of Stitcher and all of iHeart radios. When you see that, is a good thing. And I want you guys also just to say, hey, but if anybody in any of the streaming, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, any questions, any words of encouragement, any thoughts you want to have, it's interactive, thinking about your why, pushing yourself and anything like that, the advice you need from me, let me know, go ahead and, shoot the questions, whether it's in Facebook or YouTube. I just make sure I don't disconnect on the any one of those two there. But if it's any questions, I love to open it up chit chat, whether it's words of encouragement, you got to type it or anything like that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Katrina, for your support. I appreciate that, Mom. Definitely. But if anything, everybody want to chime in or drop a quick note. I see a decent lot of folks on Facebook. A few chimed in and out, and several on YouTube right now. Okay. But I want where you typing in while I'm waiting for them to come up, if any questions. But I really want to go out there and just close this right here. Even right here, right now. I have a partner, a business partner, boy. Whew, she'll never let me live it down on my excellence brand as well as the Master Resilience brand. Push you, keep pushing, don't quit. No matter what it looks like. I have a friend, my musical intro was by R&B artist Zawandi. Pushes and doing some things that's nice. That's probably the only thing that's probably perfect on this podcast show right now is my intro music. But the thing is, you just can't quit no matter what it is. And sometimes you're gonna get, oh, my best friend Pete. Golly, thanks, brother. I see you over there, man. I see you in a little bit though, in the cyber world. But the thing is, you just can't quit. You know, and that is just a good thing there for me. I just don't quit. You'll find your way. It's gonna be obstacles. Heck, I never thought. I'll be honest with you. I never thought I would outsource printing business stuff. I never thought in a million years I'd be looking at talking live on video. I'd be on stage and all that good stuff. But I never even thought that. I would always in the sales business, but now I've done all these different things. And it's even ironic. I think it was my mother that really pushed me into the sales business before she had passed. Yeah, she did that. It was a long. That's another story. Okay, good. Um, Great. Katrina Montez, one of the advice she put on, Katrina Montez asked, what advice would you give to someone who is constantly distracted by past drama? Wow. That is trauma, excuse me, by past trauma. The quick answer, Katrina, on that would be keep pushing, because the only thing you'll deal with that trauma that you've dealt with, because I've dealt with some traumas, it's some traumas that some members, close members of my family have no clue as to what I've just gone through, and, maybe some close select friends. But, when you deal with those past traumas, you really have to keep going. You have to really sit there and sit back and try, because I'm not going to say it's not easy. Healing is not easy. Okay, this is not the Matrix. This is not one of those vampire movies where you get cut and it heals. These deep trauma bonds are serious. So it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be an instant microwave type of healing. But in order to heal, sometimes and how you deal with, um, being distracted by those past dramas, sometimes, you may have to do like I do. I dig into work. I go get, I have some close people I deal with, talk to, and I really get their advice. I'm able to vent sometimes. I have mentors that know about some of my recent traumas and some dear friends. Um, they just have me keep on pushing. Don't quit. I'll be honest with you. Part of me, I literally went through a major life altering trauma a couple of weeks ago. And realistically or not, that's what helped me to start this podcast once and for all, because the Own Your Life movement, the JLB movement, has been a seed of mine, a baby of mine for a couple of years. So the advice I would give them, if they're constantly distracted by past trauma, is to try to do whatever they can. If this is their passion, their goal, of what they're going to want to deal with and want to grow through, they're going to have to go through it, because they're going to have to grow through it to go through it. And they may have to use that past trauma and say, you know what, God, why did I go through this? First, because I'm a faith believer of God, the Father of Christ. No offense to anyone, any other spiritual beliefs whatsoever, but I know I pray, hey, God, what am I to learn from this? Because they would always use, when you're distracted, it's always that why me? Well, that's a why. Why not you? You know, and they can also, advice I can give them in their past traumas is, I'm here for a purpose. This happened to me. It was sad. It was hurtful, the whole 9 yards, but I'm here for a reason, because obviously God woke me up. And if God wakes you up on that given day, if you're suffering through those past traumas, I mean, you're still alive. So I encourage them to just keep going. Look to God, look for that advice, okay, and speak in those silent whispers. That's one thing. Another thing I would do, like I maybe mentioned, is keep going. Immerse themselves in the activities that bring them joy. It can be someone just talking to someone and helping them get through their traumas. It can be distracted. It's like, wow. Because I know for me, I, it's one thing to have my own testimony, my little MJ ego. Um, I've been awarded, I've been in stages, I got awards, Sales in a Month awards, or what have you. Um, you know, and would go from there. So what I was getting, I almost got distracted for the next question. But the thing what I have is that I love being a part of someone else's testimony. If my story, and I've shared this with many other folks, my story, my resilience, helps someone, man, MJ, man, I love that MJ on the stoop. Like, wow. I love that, episode you did on that one, man. That was powerful right there. Man, I love that. Think it inspired me. I have folks say, man, MJ, I was thinking about just ending it, man. And it's serious. It's like, wow. I remember old classmate when I first started doing MJ on the stoops. I'm like, whoa, dude, there you go. So, really immerse themselves. My advice I give them on that last part of that answer, what would I do to help folks get through, getting distracted by past traumas? Katrina, is just keep going. Find a mentor, find someone they can talk to. You got to get that help. Talk to God, and really, really just find something inside of them that keeps on. If that's what they're doing, just keep doing more of it to give them that kind of joy. And eventually, they'll never be able to forget the past trauma. And in the past trauma, the triggers might not come up as much. Heck, my mom's been gone for 30 years this year, and it seems like yesterday, but I'm able to cope and talk about it. Like even some almost broke down, but hey, I deal with that because I deal with her memories right there. So I hope that answers your question. Marshall, classmate, she asked, what advice would you give to parents when their adult children choose to not listen to sound wisdom? Do you let go and let God, or just keep trying to get them to listen? You know, Marshall, me knowing you and knowing your relationship with God, I'm gonna answer that. You know, I was the poster boy for being hard headed. I was the poster boy for not listening because my passion and what I wanted to do was great. But for those children, you have to realize, one, you can't live vicariously. Thank you, Katrina. You can't live vicariously through your children. You can't live and put on your subconsciously. That's what a lot of parents are doing. You can't live like, I didn't do this. So I got to push her. I got to push him to do it. My thinking. And remember this, guys, those children are born to us as gifts. Okay. We look it back to us. Did we listen to our parents 100% of the times? Nah. Do we, sound wisdom, is one thing, and you have to fight for that. But sometimes you do have to let go and let God, because even if they're doing some things that are not savory, because as a parent, even me becoming a parent, it was like, oh my dog, I got that question real quick, Station, 1 second. Me as a parent, when I became a parent, it's like, ooh, but thank God, because I see my adult children doing the thing, but I realized how hard it was on me because I'm not even going to lie. I was raised pretty good. I'm not going to put that part out there. That's another part of the Own Your Life series. But, I realized I was different. I wanted to do a lot of things. I was hard headed. It was hard for me. So I realized how hard it was for me going for my dreams and goals. I don't want to listen to anyone. So I learned with my children and just speaking to them and just praying for them, one, and then also speaking to them. Remember, you're making decisions, that's going to affect you're going to make decisions that are going to affect the rest of your life. And all of us right now on this call, on this live podcast right here, we're we are a sum total of our past decisions, all of them, good, bad, and indifferent. Okay, I mean, good, growing, and indifferent. Okay, that right there, you know is something else. So we have to tell our children, have to realize we have to let them go. Sometimes we have to tell them, if they're doing things illegal, if they're doing things that are outright try to kill themselves, we don't want our child to die. We don't want our child to really go out there and hurt themselves. So we have to really just, try to sit them down and let them know those consequences are not good. But we can't go at it with a attitude, you better do this, you need to do this, I told you to do this, and we can't cut them off because those are our children throughout their lives. And sometimes, also us trying to hold them back, us trying to cushion their blows, it may be hindering what God is trying to do in their lives. Okay. So it's a real thin line, with that answer right there. Stacey Jones. Okay. You asked, what advice do you give someone who is a procrastinator? For those who know me intimately and personally, um, that's a question for my daughter. So I guess she's probably a procrastinator. So I guess it is a spiritual thing. I guess I'm gonna have to get delivered from that myself because the generational curse. I guess she has it on us. I probably passed that down. Oh boy, that's hilarious. But anyway, sweetie, what you would do, if you're a procrastinator, really, it's not really a procrastination situation. It's all about your priorities. When I say your why, realistically, how bad do you want that? How bad do you want that? Because those who are on this call with me can know, anyway, this has been a dream of your dad's for a long time. This has been a seed, Sasha, for a long time of mine. And you don't want to get yourself in a position where you have to do it finally, because procrastinators, okay, you put it off, it comes for one or two several reasons. One, it isn't a priority enough for you. Two, you may not have, you have a belief system right there. You have a little fear right there. Okay. And that right there is like, inside fear of success. And that is a such thing as fear of success, fear of putting yourself out there. Okay. Fear of failure. Well, here's the kicker, sweetheart. This YouTube, Facebook, laptops, live show videos. I remember when they first came out to do a live phone call, it was a little phone call they used to sell. I forgot the name of the company, like something off the Jetsons. Well, you might not know that cartoon, but now it's came. But those things were developed because of failures. People kept trying, didn't know what to do, kept trying and trying and trying. So that you can't be a fear of failure. Okay. Because failure anyway, fear of failure is false evidence appearing real. But if you're procrastinating, you have to, really prioritize that. Because I ask you this: if I say Stacey Aldrea Jones, um, you're gonna kill me for that, I know, but hey, I love you. Say, you know what? Tomorrow, at if you got to be down here in Birmingham, Alabama, by 10 o'clock at night, and I have $100,000 cash for you, tax free. Okay, but you have to get here. You would stop at nothing to get here. Why? Because you wanted that. You saw that reward. You saw that, like, wow, you wouldn't care if it rained, if it was traffic, or anything else like that. You'll prioritize that. You'll get there. So if you want it bad enough, if it's your why, look at my air quotes. That's not Austin Powers, but if you want it bad enough, you're going to stop it. You're going to get enough of the procrastination. Heck, your dad, is on here. Your daddy's healthy. I was always knowing health. I know it, but I wasn't eating healthy. I got introduced to the vegan lifestyle through Katrina. I mentioned her. You're on your way, okay, little girl. I mentioned that's the reason I got on that, but I had to really, push me because I was pushed enough because I was literally dealing with some health issues coming out of colonoscopy. It was a fear of that, and then I had a real bad sleep apnea issue because of the weight I put on. And I saw that, and thank God because she pushed me. It was the situation where it kept me from procrastinating because when I went in for that test, I was almost 91% plus blockage in the airways. I snored so dang loud it was horrendous, and I have it on a recording. I don't like that it got recorded, but it was horrendous. But because of that, someone was in my life that really pushed me to change my lifestyle, change my eating habits, the whole 9 yards. And now I'm about 99% where I'm, as far as eating good and all that good stuff, but I had to stop putting it off. This podcast, what would I do with someone who's a procrastinator? Call me, keep calling me and say, don't do it. Because here's the thing, you don't want to get to the point you want to prioritize, because me procrastinating, say, it's just caused me a lot of income. Heck, even procrastinating may have caused some relationships, and it's delayed a lot of different things. But I thank God for His mercies and stuff like that, that I'm still here and able to do, what I do. But there we have it. Any more questions? Anyone want to ask another question? That was some good questions. Aw. Katrina Montez on YouTube. If you look at that, Sasha says, "Thank you, Katrina, for being that influence to help push me to get that the eat lifestyle together." That, yeah. All right, now I'm not supposed to get emotional. Sasha, we'll talk about that later, not tomorrow. But thank you, sweetie. That made me think of something. I know why you did that too. But see, here's the kicker, and I'm glad you said that. My daughter's being on this, it's kind of different. And it means that, and it means it helped me push this a lot more. And listening to my daughter, hit there, she lost her mom. Um, she lost her mom. And I remember they real sticklers on me, and how dare I not do what I have to do now so that I can be here as much as humanly possible for my children, for my legacy. So when it comes to procrastination, when it comes to your why, look at that, and yeah, I do got to thank Katrina for that. Wow. Well, thank you, baby, for asking that. But see, but you don't want to get yourself to that point where you're fighting for your life. Okay. And there you have it. So that's why procrastination should kill it. And back to the topic, your why. Your why has to be just that more reason why. Now you might get your dad out there going to maybe hit that bike for 30 minutes and maybe wake up extra early, make sure I'm on my next workout session tomorrow morning. So that's that. But like I said, I want to thank everybody for coming out. There's no more questions. Please shoot them. Thanks for the support. And whether you listen to it live or on one of the streaming platforms, I think beginning Wednesday, there we have it. But for sure, we're going to be here every Sunday. We're going to be every Sunday at 7 p.m. We may change that time and look forward to a lot of different guests. I have the author and Lord have mercy, I don't have a book here, but the author of Master Resilience, um, Katrina Montez, Stories of Inspiration for folks with purposeful living. And that right there, she's going to be on here. It's talking about resilience, health. I have people like Dr. Eric Adams. He has a book out on health, on eating healthy. I have a lot of influencers. Prayerfully, just pray for me. The yeses are bombs yet. I have a couple artists. I'm going to be on a couple singer, and definitely going to be on this podcast guest. Some other influencers in the realm of financial services, dreams, psychology. Go for no. Andrea Waltz. I have a friend, my buddy Dexter. He's going to be on here talking about the Anyway principle. And who knows? I even might have one of the Jones kids on here because those four jokers there, boy, there's some amazing kids. But anyway, this is your boy MJ. Just a quick moment, MJ, and I want to share with you. If your why doesn't make you cry, you might not, I might not want it bad enough. Anyway, this is your boy MJ. I want to sign on off and thank everyone for investing this time, this capsule of time with me on this podcast live. Any questions? I'm out here on social media. These will be on live. You can see me on Instagram, TikTok, and Instagram and TikTok, Marquis Jones, Facebook, Marquis Jones Senior, and I'm out here all the time. God bless. Thank each and every single one of you.